Yo guys, what's going on? The Train of Brick here, back for another LEGO engine video, and today we're going to be checking out this, my 2-cylinder LEGO Turbine Engine, one of the first of its kind, in fact. I know that kind of looks like a face, but yeah, today we're going to be checking this out. It is a 2-cylinder, based off of the original design I had. Thanks to KF Plus LEGO Mastery for that design, with 2 gears, or 4 gears, I guess, in 2 separate holes for them. And it runs off of a vacuum. It sounds like a turbocharger, or a supercharger, I suppose I should say, when it runs, because it just screams like heck. But, yeah, that's the engine. And today we're going to be perfecting and getting this thing running to the most optimal performance possible. Let's get going. So in the last LEGO engine video, you saw this, my LEGO turbocharged single-cylinder vacuum engine designed by KF Plus LEGO Mastery and modified for use with a turbocharger. Now, with this engine, it's very similar. It was designed to have turbines more like cylinders. They were approximately that long, about 6 studs long, and there were 2 of them offset on the LEGO axle in there, and even on both blowing air and sucking air, the engine would not run even after I greased it. So, midway through taking it apart, I was just like, you know what, these parts are already all greasy. Why not just throw some gears in there and see what happens? So I put the gears in there. I'm not expecting it to even start spinning. Turn the vacuum on, and this thing starts flying in a circle. So that was kind of the origin story for this engine. I can't find the video that I followed for the original tutorial of this video, but if I do by the time I post it, I will definitely have it linked in the description. Make sure you check that out. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to perfecting the engine. A quick side note, and you can skip to timestamp 3:15 to skip this, but this LEGO stuff over here is for a project for those two, my LEGO Santa Fe GB60M and GB60B. Video for those coming out in a couple of weeks here. I'm currently waiting on some LEGO parts from Denmark, actually. These came over from Chicago, and that also came from Chicago. That was just VIP stuff. But yeah, so we're building a bunch of piggyback cars for that. That's what all the wheels are for. There's a lot of them. I think there's 24 or so. And these are for the piggyback cars. And if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. Video out in a couple of weeks. First of all, with this engine, I think what we need to do is cover up the one stud gap between the 2 cylinders, obviously, and grease it, because it doesn't spin too well right now. But originally, I had no gaps between, at least all the way down in there. There is not a single gap between one side and the other. There's always 2 studs between. And I think that this might be prohibiting some of the performance from happening. So that'll be one thing I'd like to do. Maybe bring down the top a little bit, like maybe get rid of these top studs as well. That might improve the performance, and just have the top be here with the, there it is, this little piece here, just drop it down a stud, basically. See if that improves the performance at all. And then the intake over here, I'd like to make some sort of throttle control for the side, and then also have it be a little bit smaller, so it's pulling air through a much smaller little space, because that would also increase the performance, as learned by KF Plus LEGO Mastery, making some of his incredible LEGO engine stuff. Again, he's an amazing guy, helped me out greatly on my road for building these engines, so I appreciate him a lot, and makes good content. I just wish he'd make newer videos on stuff. Anyway, let's, first of all, let's just run a test how it is, and, yeah, see how it performs. Alright, here goes. I haven't run this engine in about 2 weeks, so we'll see how it performs. I also don't have earplugs in this time, so we'll see how it goes. Jeez, dude, that was loud. What kind of RPMs do you think that engine was getting? Like, my guess is somewhere around 4,000, 5,000, maybe 6,000 at the most. But, I mean, you guys can leave your ideas down in the comments down below. You know, you don't have to or anything, I'm just saying. I have no idea what kind of RPMs this thing is getting, but I think we'll be able to tell if it's going faster later on when we get some modifications onto this thing. So first order of business, now that we've greased it, is cleaning up the little bit that spilled under there, because there's actually, I didn't show this before, there's little, like, performance kind of holes down there in the very bottom you can see. I did some testing off camera like 2 weeks ago when I ran this the last time, and found that those holes actually do increase the performance by quite a bit, but I kind of ran out of time to do the rest of the stuff, so I thought I'd make a video on it. But, yeah, so first order of business, I think, is going to be re-engineering the front module for the pulling the air into the vacuum cleaner. And then second, we'll do the stud up here in the top. And then if that runs the engine like normal or just fine, I'd like to just drop the whole roof down a couple of studs, or at least one stud, and just see if that makes the performance any better. And I think in a couple videos from now, I'd like to get my turbochargers. Yes, I did find the other one, and turbocharge this engine. I already tried turbocharging it, but the placement of my turbos was not great, and it just decreased the performance of the engine. It did look kind of cool, though, gotta admit. I've got some videos of it, so, yeah. Let's get to work. So, we've done the modifications and everything, made a smaller intake hole, we got the thing up here on the top. You can see I added a bit there. I was thinking about removing the performance holes down here in the bottom, but I decided against it because I figured that it might actually prevent performance from happening. Inhibit, I think, is the word for that. I don't really know. But before we actually run this, I'm going to clean all of the olive oil up that's down in the bottom with the vacuum. So let me do that, and we'll get to work on running the engine. Alright, so this is going to be the first test of the new engine with upgraded performance parts. I sound like I'm a car tuner or something like that. Let's just run the engine already. lot better, actually. After that test run, you could definitely tell the amount of performance that we increased. At the end there, I was covering up the outlet ports just a little bit to try and make just that much little bit more performance out of it. So I think our next step actually is going to be to just shorten down the top a little bit, get even more performance out of it. And then based on what was going on, I think I'm actually going to get rid of those performance holes down there. Because with all the extra stuff added onto it, I don't really think they're doing too much. So, yeah, let me get to work on it. So now is actually a really good opportunity to show you guys what the engine actually looks like on the inside. So you have your 2 cylinders. It's obviously really greasy right now. And then just 4 42 tooth gears in 2 sets of 2, just right next to each other. It's really that simple. I was honestly surprised nobody had thought of the design and posted it on YouTube when I was posting this video, actually. So, yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys what the engine looks like on the inside before I finally, hopefully, get this engine to not fall apart for once. We lowered the top of the engine, and now we're going to give it a test. And then after that, that'll be pretty much all the video. So, here we go. Well, I'd say that was a pretty successful run. The engine was actually causing, if you watch in slow-mo, yeah, it was vibrating, but when I covered up the little end pieces, which is good to know that I'm going to be able to use these to cover up the ends, to make just a tiny little bit more performance, but that's not needed in this video. You could actually see that the tire was ballooning, which often only happens above 8,000 RPMs, which is extremely high for a tiny little engine like this. So I'm pretty happy with this engine. If you guys want to see more with this engine, let me know in the comments down below. Just comment and let me know what you want me to do, whether you want me to turbo it, supercharge it even, I don't even know. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around like a donut.